A dragon is attacking a hooded figure. After defeating it, he goes over the lore of the Crest, and he's reincarnated to another world. As a 12-year-old boy, Mathias Hildesheimer is traveling to the capital. He overhears yelling coming from a shop. Inside, a girl is yelling at the owner to make an enchanted sword for her friend. The owner says he can't do it. Matty, our main lead, says he can. The girl is named Alma Lepsius. Alma's friend shows up named Lurie Aventrot. He's given the sword and he enchants it. Mathias stares at Lurie, finding her beautiful. They all become friends and find out they're all going to the same academy. At this academy, Matty shows he's much stronger, having been challenged by the captain of the guards in swordsplay, defeating him. For his casting test, he uses his wordless chanting, being much faster and stronger than normal spells. All the students and professors of this world can't use magic without chanting a spell, with Mathias being different, able to cast a powerful magic without chanting. The headmaster calls him to the office. He's then made an instructor, with him being told to teach everyone how to use magic. To make wordless chanting the main magic, he has to beat the Rivals Academy's strong student. The student, Devilis, is rude and arrogant. He realizes he's a demon though, so he defeats the demon, exposing him. He's then brought to the king after defeating the demon. Demons haven't been seen for centuries, having never been defeated single-handedly in the history of the kingdom, making Matty the first. The king offers him a reward. Matty asks for the right to use the resources of the dungeons. They come to the conclusion that demons have been in their society for the past few centuries now, and over time they've weakened human society, being the reason spellcasting uses chants now, being a way to reduce the power and increase the casting time of abilities. Matty explains that the demons are going to attack in 3 months, and they should prepare for it. He offers a plan to make a barrier in 1 month. He goes to get the materials from the treasury, where he finds one of his old tools. He tells Lurie and Alma the situation, and recruits both of them to join his party. He switches Lurie to be more of a support role instead of using a sword, and Alma switches from a sword to her normal role of an archery. Then the three of them go to the dungeon to train and gather materials. The kids come back for the dungeon to get their reward. When they leave, and on the way back, Matty detects 3 demons there. He fights the stronger one, and Lurie and Alma fight the weaker one. They beat the 2 of them in the city, and 3 of them get a reward from the king. Lurie and Alma get money, and Matty gets all the dungeon rights in the kingdom. Then he reveals that a demon is listening in on their conversation. They find where he's hiding, and make arrangements to go there, but they first have to go meet an old friend of Matty's, being Iris the Darkness Dragon. Iris is scared, however, seeing him again, thinking he's coming back to finish her off, but instead he heals her wings, and all 4 of them leave, with Matty reminding Iris not to mention anything about his past, or else. In the misty forest, they go to the demon army's stronghold on the outskirts of the kingdom, and in a blink of an eye, Matty slices one of the guards, but the girl's wondering if he's even human. Iris being glad she's on his side, the group makes their way to a room where one of the demons doesn't believe they're as strong as they seem, but he's quickly defeated by Lurie and Alma, finishing him. At a well outside of the base, the leader meets Matty for a battle. The leader is able to use long-range attacks with his stretched out arms, cutting one of his arms. Matty heals his arm back, then nullifying the demon's magic. The commander decides to use a mist spell to draw from the surroundings. Matty uses this spell to his advantage though, and makes him draw in toxins, with him absorbing it. The creature begs for its life, when Matty turns him into a magical crystal. Lurie rushes in after the battle to hug him, having been very worried about him. The boy reveals the demon's plans to bring 5,000 monsters plus others by using the magical crystal, urging the group to go back to the capital and evacuate the people. In the woods, near the campus, Iris transforms into a human and gets enrolled into the academy. The headmaster can't make any exceptions, and Iris must take her exam like everybody else. She fails her writing exam, having spilled ink everywhere. Next, she spars with the captain of the guards, with her picking up the instructor when he attacks her without her looking, then using her sword like a baseball bat, with Matty having to use a magical barrier around him. Her magic test is a complete disaster, with her almost blowing up everyone around her. Given her overwhelming strength and power, the headmaster has no choice but to let her in. Matty asks the headmaster how they're coming along with the barrier, and he says that he's trying to get by, but they don't have enough Glory Crest students to complete it, so they go to the first academy to recruit more students. The first academy's headmaster is disrespectful and won't cooperate with the group, so to decide this, they hold a competition. Matty is not allowed to compete though. The second academy wins, using only a few students. The first academy headmaster is punished though for going back on his word. Matty's party goes back to the dungeon to get materials. and the barrier is complete, with the capital being instantly attacked. They deal with the threat to the capital on the outside of the barrier. Matty and his friends then leave the academy to go traveling. The party makes food in the forest. When they get to the city nearby, it seems to be underpopulated and impoverished. They go to the guild to get some more information. When a woman rushes in, they say that they need a healer. When they follow her, they see a lot of people injured. Matty goes in to heal them, but an older healer interrupts him, saying this is no place for a child. Matty then asks him, is he capable of healing everyone here? And the man says he can't. So Matty tells him to watch, to listen to him. With them now being able to heal everyone in the room, the two of them shake hands. As a sign of mutual respect, Matty asked him that what happened to the previous lord, because at one point in time, he knew the past lord to be very competent at his job. The man replies with, he passed away abruptly. Everyone goes to sleep, but Matty and Lurie can't sleep because Alma and Iris are keeping them up talking in their sleep. The next day, they defeat the strongest monsters in the dungeon and collect a reward. On the way back to the inn, group goes down a different route, with them vanishing and then reappearing in front of some bandits that are trying to ambush them. Bandits take Matty and explain the Lord wants him to work for him. Iris beats all the bandits and they go back to the inn. The group gets a letter in the morning, this being from the king. The king tells them to meet someone in the dungeon. The king's attendant tells him he can make an arrest. The party goes to the Lord's mansion, with there being a lot of enemies inside. They bust through the door and defeat all the enemies, arresting the Lord, with them telling that the city is about to be attacked by a horde of monsters, and now they have only 2 hours to stop it. Matty leaves to go fight a demon. Demon's boss is talking to him from afar, with Matty knowing he's nearby. Lurie pours some of her magic into the dungeon, while Matty's defeating the demon, and they talk about where the demon radius came from. Matty says they need the king to approve their next journey, and the group goes to the Radiant Alliance, and they go to see the headmaster for some help. Iris and Matty help rebuild the second academy, and the team needs to go to a restricted area in the Radiant Alliance. To get there, they have to get a rank of A as an adventurer at the Adventurers Guild, and in order to be an adventurer, they have to get the okay, and to get the okay, they have to get the level approved by a proctor, with them receiving the rank as proctor of Gilius. Gilius is a prodigy who has never lost a battle or passed anyone when he's the proctor. Gilius right away passes the girls and says he wants to go fight Matty. He knows of Matty and just wants to fight someone strong. The two of them have a mock battle, with him saying he can't use magic, but Matty can sense some type of magic from him. Gilius is strong, using his instincts and physical enhancement spells to overpower others. Matty shows off his magic, and Gilius starts to copy him and attack him. Matty overpowers Gilius and wins it. As a group, they receive a rank A, and they go to the restricted area. The guards give him a pass to go there, with hired bandits attacking them. Matty tells Lurie and Alma to go behind them and make them fall asleep with this magical item. The bandits fall asleep, but so do Lurie and Alma. The two girls wake up, with Alma noticing that Iris has drew on her face. Group goes to Folkia, which is filled with demons. Lurie and Alma are worried, with demons not being a race that likes to group up together, suddenly grouping up together. Matty says that that's true, but this is a different species of demons. On a rock, Matty uses his Crest magic to open a secret passageway into the sewers. The boy then walks through a wall to nullify one of the guards. In the town, the people have a dull expression on their faces. Matty notices a disturbance type of spell on their forehead. The group follows them inside a factory where they work, putting a defensive spell on everyone. The factory has people working to mine demon crystals to build an enormous weapon for the demons. Matty wants to act quickly, but the Dullify spell having dangerous effects on the person's brain long term. So the boy plans to take out all the demons that night, drawing them out with a large magical energy wave. With also using Iris as a distraction, he hides in the wall and ambushes them, and the group is able to wipe out 22 of them. Gilius arrives to help them. Gilius faces the leader of the demons, learning from his fight with Matty to use magic, defeating him. With all the demons defeated in the town, they're able to lift the Thought Paralysis spell. Gilius uses his S-rank adventurer status to put in place the Emergency Authorization Act to take control of the town. With there being no leader in the town, a high-ranking adventurer can temporarily take control of the town. He then appoints the leader of the factory as the Provisionary Lord. Gilius allows Matty and his party a permit to travel to Folkia's restricted area. The party goes to the ruins of the restricted area, being Matty's ruins from 1,000 years ago. Matty infuses his magic into the ruin to levitate the rock in the air. Matty then jumps down into the deep hole, which scares the girls. He assures them that it's not as deep as they think, so they use physical enhancement spells and jump down. Inside, they look for treasure and weapons from the past. Lurie finds an old sword that Matty finds very cringy now, seeing that he stayed up all night creating the sword, the only purpose of making the sword look very cool. Alma finds a heavy spear, and Matty warns her how dangerous it is, that rapidly overheats and evaporates the user and everything around them. Iris finds a can of preserved foods that have a spell on it to make it fresh forever, but when she opens it, it smells terrible, knocking her out. Matty uses a wide-range detection spell to find the person who caused the factory in Folkia. The one behind the plan to wipe out humanity is Zardius. Zardius has been using immortality spells to train for hundreds of years. The demon was sealed away, with the people of the time not able to defeat him for good though. Even if they managed to defeat him, they would have brought the rest of society to ruin. Iris makes a comment about using stronger weapons to defeat him, finding all the weapons in the ruin very weak. This gives Matty an idea to use a particular weapon, tracking it to the kingdom of Ainz. Zardius breaks his seal, coming straight from Matty's party. Matty gives the two girls a gemstone that will lead them to the sword. Zardius appears with Iris and Matty preparing for battle. Iris blasts Zardius with the dragon's breath, but having little effect on him. Zardius swings his sword at Iris, making Matty use a multi-layered barrier to shield her. Lurie and Alma make their way to the treasury, where they're surrounded by guards for trespassing. Right before they're about to attack the guards, the king stops them, wanting an explanation about what they're doing. Lurie tells them that Matty needs a particular weapon to face a dangerous enemy, with the main guard telling his king not to be fooled by her words. The king then tells them to hurry. The two of them find the sword they're looking for, and hurry back to Matty. Outside, a demon that they've recently faced before has come back to get revenge. Alma fires 3 arrows, with Lurie finish him off with a slash, disintegrating his body. The guard that doubted them apologizes for his earlier statements. The girl's next opponent is the first demon that Matty faced, who takes some of the students hostage, using a magical barrier to hurt them. Desprio tells them to drop their weapon, and if they don't, the students will suffer. The headmaster and some other students arrive to rescue them. Matty's been able to hold out using multi-layered spells to reinforce his sword. The two girls arrive to toss the sword back to Matty, but the moment he touches the sword, he's attacked, being defeated. But this triggers the sword's special ability. When the wielder is defeated, the sword infuses a tremendous amount of magical power. Zardius wonders how a human could be so strong, assuming he was the strongest. When he's defeated, he warns Matty that another chaos-level demon will appear one day to defeat him. When he comes down, Lurie tackles him, happy he's alive. Days later, the king summons them to reward them for their deeds, wanting to give them title or land. With Matty wanting neither, Lurie and Alma want money. Iris requests for food. Inside the treasury, Matty notices an arrow that he made in the past, with it having adamantite. Finding the bow that he used be missing, he tracks it down to a metal shop. There, Matty buys all the metals that the bow has been melted down into, with the bow being mixed in with various rare metals. Iris sees a pretty gem, asking Matty to buy it for her. With dragons liking pretty objects, Alma notices that Lurie likes a certain gemstone and persuades Matty to buy it for her. When they come out the store, the headmaster calls for them to come to their office, with them noticing a puppet outside their neighboring country, with them asking Matty exactly what it is. Matty confirms there is some human energy inside the puppet, and he's then asked to save their neighboring country from the demons. Later that night, Matty gives Lurie a crafted pendant with the jewel she liked in the store. Now this is where we'll leave off in today's video. If you liked today's video, check out another one just like it here. And if you did like the video, why not subscribe? I'll be uploading daily videos just like this one, so I'll see you next time.